final step to where they flew that P-51 or that F-4. So after this, it's ready for combat and, you know, potentially going in harm's way. You guys have any concerns?
How well does it fly? Would it be good for me?
Well, you know, it's a great trainer plane.
I know, but you're trying to sell it to me?
It is, but that tail wheel right there makes it a little difficult.
So is it harder to land in one with the tail wheel?
You got it. Landing a tail dragger, that airplane can swap ends pretty quickly. Where it doesn't have the tricycle gear, where you have a nose gear and 2 tail gear, you actually have it in the back. It's a little unstable with that. Landing a tail dragger is kind of like going from learning to ride your bike, where you have training wheels on it, and then all of a sudden you take those training wheels off.
Basically, we have like no aviation skills. We're about to start school, so.
You might have to start off with something a little less powerful and a little easier to fly.
I thought we could learn to fly this thing, but clearly that's not a good idea. But I still love this plane, so if I can get it for a good price, I can resell it and make a profit.
Before I can give you a price range on this aircraft, we need to do a visual inspection.
Do your stuff.
You bet. How many hours do you have on your engine?
You know, it only has about 20 hours since the engine is going to be completely overhauled.
The engine's on here 1,600 hours, and as you get closer to that mark, you need to overhaul, and that is a big ticket item. So that's actually a plus. On the front, he's going to have a spinner. Not all Texans have a spinner. It adds about $5,000 in value.
Just for that little cap on the front?
Just for here, the spinner on here.
Protects it from elements, dirt, rust, and things like that.
That's why airplanes are so damn weird, because it just doesn't look like it would cost $5,000.
Yeah.
Come on up, have a seat.
He's got a clean cockpit set up. This aircraft is fairly basic to fly. Landing and takeoff is a little hard with the tail wheel, but literally with the stick, it's up, down, left, right to maneuver the aircraft. You've got a pretty easy throttle. So the last thing to do here is to take this airplane flying. Dennis and I should go airborne.
Yeah, let's take her up.
All right, let's do it.
Do your stuff.
I'm super excited to fly this aircraft. I spent most of my time in jets, and this will be really kind of a throwback. It'll be fun to fly this. Clear. I've inspected the exterior and the interior of the plane. We've looked at the logbooks, so I'm really excited to fly the aircraft.
I wonder what it's like to just hop in any plane you see and be able to fly it.
I don't know, but I think it would be pretty cool.
Okay, you ready to go? Here we go, man. Now just stick kind of
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go.
I thought the aircraft performed very well on takeoff.
I was gonna make some nachos. Hold on.
We did a bunch of aerobatics.
I think I need to go.
Barrel
And the
rolls.
boss is there, and he's too hard.
God. Maybe one day I'll be able to fly it.
Yeah.
Aircraft flew pretty awesome.
For now, I want to keep the nose straight here.
So anyway, my Rift
Apparently it works.
quest is apparently to go into the Rift.
Awesome. We had a
Okay.
blast. Good aircraft.
So
Dennis, you've done a nice job restoring that.
let me go
It's
double
actually a lot
check
better
to
than I
make
thought it
sure
was
that
gonna be.
this. What the heck
All right,
happened
so
to my
what do you think it's worth?
mount? Okay. Okay, there's something wrong
Right
with
now,
my,
current market,
game.
what we're looking at.
Hold on. There's been some, like, someone obviously logged into my account recently. Because my, okay, let's see what's going on here.
What has brought you to me?
I don't know when it starts or how it starts.
Greetings, adventurer. Time is of the essence.
Ahoy!
There is much to do. I will be here.
So, I don't understand the time rift. Hold on. I haven't even shared this. Hold on. Right now I'm doing the time rift, just an FYI, because I want to get this over with, because it seems to be in the way, or something I should do. Okay. Thank you, Mom.
Good day to you.
I protect the sands of time. Time flows through me. May time be kind to you.
I'm gonna make nachos. I'll be right back.
Is it time already? The sands flow eternal. can aid you.
Good fortune. Arcanon Poros.
Ponder what we discussed. do you require? Time reveals all.
Welcome to the Isles. Until we meet again. Order guide you.
Come in order.
So many possibilities. It is a world of wonders.
If you want something done, I want to see.
Ahoy! Good day to you.
Is it time already? The sands flow eternal. I protect the sands of time. Time flows through me. Time is of the essence.
Champions, I am glad you are here. We must resolve a rift in time. The creatures you see here belong to a different timeway. Prepare yourself. We must deal with this incursion. Then, we will fix what is broken.
If you want something done, I am the...
Come back here and help us resolve this paradox.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. I need a target.
Strike a blow for our timeline.
It's too far away. I need to get closer. I need to target
The
something
enemy wants a
first.
fortification here. Demolish it!
I need a target.
Defend our timeline against our enemies. We stand as one.
It's too far away. I'm out of range. I need to target something first. I need to get closer.
Build some defensive structures. We work as one.
I don't have a target. I need to target something first. I don't have a target. I need a target. It's too far away. I'm out of range. target something first. It's too far away. I'm out of range. I don't have a target. I need a target.
Asmaloths. In this time way, Murlocs have overrun reality
need to get
among the
closer.
countless time ways known to the Bronze Dragonflight. You would be surprised how often this is the case. This is a silly place, but it is also incredibly deadly. Use caution.
I can aid you. May time be kind to you.
Sorry I AFK'd for so long. I was helping my auntie with her TV. So, sorry I didn't say anything. I'm gonna get to the raids now. Please forgive me for taking so long. I got stuck. Nope, you're fine. Alright. Where am I? Where's the main place? I don't know. Is that it right there? Yep. I'm gonna do onyxia or Eye of Eternity first. I don't know.
It's too far away.
have not come this far to be stopped. The future I have planned will not be jeopardized. Now you will taste true power.
Johnny's in America, no tags at the wheel. No one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. Johnny's in America. Johnny wants a brain. Johnny wants to suck on the coke. Johnny wants a woman. Johnny wants to think of a joke. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. Johnny combs his hair and Johnny wants to see in cars. Johnny's in America. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. Yeah, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the worst. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. God is an American. 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 God is an American.
Drinks on my I took you home. can't attack that target.
yourselves!
I can't attack that. I can't attack that target. I can't attack
Blood
that.
for blood.
Thus endure I reign supreme.
I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target.
Anora Balore.
I need a target. I need to target something first.
You know, I think it's fair value. It's about 170,000 on the spot.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair estimate.
So what does it cost to own one of these things?
first thing is you need to hangar it. That's about $300 a month. Then this aircraft needs to fly. It needs to get lubricated, oil through the systems, fuel, everything's about $275 an hour to fly it.
Seems like this thing's gonna cost me $1,000 a month just to own until I can sell it.
Yeah, that's a safe number.
All right, well, thanks, Matt.
Okay, you bet. Great to see you.
Matt, you're the man, dude.
Okay, see you.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Nice job, Dennis.
So what is your bottom dollar?
I'd look at something around 165,000.
Oh. You know, we sort of came out here on a whim. So on a whim, I'll give you 140 grand.
Yeah, it's getting warm.
I mean, if I buy it off, it's going to sit around for a while. It's going to cost me money to own it until I resell it or figure out what the hell I'm going to do with it.
Well, you know, it's a vintage and a classic airplane. There's so much heritage with this, and it appreciates in value.
It's definitely something I'm interested in.
You know, at 157, kind of warm it up a little bit for you?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd go like 140 on it if you take it.
Come this far to be stopped. The future I have
You
planned
gave me
will not be
150,
jeopardized.
we'd probably have a deal today. Yeah.
As a businessman, I will go 140.
You know, if you come up just a little bit, at 145, we'd be shaking hands.
I'll tell you what, my man. I'm gonna go back and do a little bit more research. If I think we can pay you 145 for it, I'll give you a call and we'll do it. But right now, I'm gonna hold you at 140.
Boy, we were really close, so why don't we just think about that a little bit, and maybe there'll be a phone ringing between here and Vegas.
Have a go with it, man.
All right, thanks a lot, guys, for coming out. I'm shocked that they didn't take the offer.
I'm bummed we got that close and couldn't make a deal. But I'm glad it was me and Corey that got to check out the plane. If we had sent Chum and the old man, they would have wasted the whole day playing around.
Morning, sir. Chumley, get up off your ass.
Got a couple photographs of the Enola Gay and her crew that maybe I'm looking to sell. The Enola Gay was the B-29 bomber that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
This was one of the biggest events in mankind's history.
Yes, it was. Both photographs are signed by the pilot and some of the crew members. I bought the photos from an estate auction. I'm hoping to get at least $1,500 today for the photos. I don't plan on taking anything less than $500.
Well, who signed it?
Both photographs are signed by the pilot, Paul Tibbets. He is since deceased. The upper photo of the crew is signed by an additional 3 members of the crew, plus the pilot, the national heroes.
Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, there's different views from different people, Chumley. They estimated the war would go on for another 4 or 5 years. When they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, Japan surrendered almost immediately. This one single mission was a turning point for the future of warfare for years to come. If this thing checks out, we could have a real treasure on our hands. How much you want for it?
I was hoping to get about 1,500.
You mind if I send this out and have it checked, guy? I just want to make sure the signatures are right.
Sure.
Chum, you feel like taking a ride up to Rebecca's?
Yeah, I can take a ride in there.
That'd be cool.
All right, why don't y'all do that?
I'm pretty sure the signatures are authentic, but having a second opinion is more than welcome by me, and hopefully it can increase the value.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, Chum, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not bad. Nice to see you.
I'm just here to babysit Chum.
Oh, he can't come on his own. Well, that's all right. I like having both of you here. Looks like, Enola Gay.
Well, the old man wanted me to have the names checked out and just make sure that the signatures matched up.
Well, why don't we go into the library and I'll take a look at it.
Great.
All right? Collectors are very, very interested in anything dealing with the dropping of the atomic bomb. A Paul Tibbets signature could be worth thousands, tens of thousands. You know, apparently only 3 people in the entire crew actually knew what the mission was. And the rest of the crew, they had been used to these sort of, bombing raids, but when they saw the effect of this particular bomb, which they hadn't expected, they actually said, my God, what just happened?
Wow.
Tibbets was, by reputation, the best pilot in the Air Force. And he actually sometimes worked as Eisenhower's personal pilot when they were going around Europe.
Cool.
Have you checked it for authenticity?
No.
Okay. It's a big risk, you know.
Yes, I know.
Let's see if that paid off. Looks like these were all signed with a couple different pens. Now, the date here is really significant. This is actually the date,
right.
August 6, 1945, when the bomb was dropped. Signatures of Paul Tibbets that were actually signed on August 6, 1945, are worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, great.
Okay? The thing about this signature here, though, it is real.
Cool.
But it's a signature of Tibbets from his old age. We know that because his signature changed as he got older, and this is the signature from when he was older. And probably by request, he backdated it. So with that in mind, the signatures of the crew members are worth about $100 each.
Okay.
Tibbets is worth a little bit more because Tibbets was the pilot, and you're looking at about $150 for his signature.
Okay.
So the total for this piece, you're looking at about $600.
Okay.
I guess that's everything. You think you can give us a moment?
Sure.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I'm a little disappointed in the overall value. I thought it might be worth a little more.
So what do you want to do? You heard what she has to say.
The minimum I'm willing to let it go for is 600.
Well, usually we would say hell no. If the old man really wants it, you think we should call him up or something?
Give him a call. Grandpa.
Yeah.
Rebecca says it's worth 600 and the guy wants to sell it for 600. You want to pay retail for it?
Hell no. I don't pay retail for nothing, Corey.
All right.
You know me better than that. Pass.
All right. Take care. Well, you heard him.
Would you take 400?
No, I think I'm gonna keep it, hang it in my house.
Okay. Thanks for bringing it down.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
You can't win them all, but in the end, it wasn't even worth that much.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, I've got something special to show you.
What do we got here?
It's a World War II Seiko medal set.
This is really, really interesting. Seiko is kind of weird, okay? It was the Sino-American Cooperative Organization. It was an intelligence thing, so it really wasn't an official military operation. And in 1974, the Chinese government came up with a set of medals. So the weird thing about these medals is you cannot wear one of these medals on an American uniform because they're not American medals. Kind of weird, but those are the rules.
I'm at the pawn shop today to try to sell my World War II Seiko medals. These medals are in immaculate condition. All 4 of them are in the original display box given to the servicemen. I'm hoping to get $5,000. If I make the sale today, I'll pay off a credit card and then probably have a little fun with some of the money.
This is like deeply cool. So World War II comes along and we end up being at war with the Japanese. Well, China was also at war with the Japanese, so the Office of Strategic Services, that's what our government had before we had the CIA.
Okay.
That was our intelligence service. They ended up putting 2,800 people in China that were training Chinese fighters, spying on the Japanese that were in China. I mean, it was basically 2,800 people running an entire spy network in China. So, how much you looking to get out of them?
I'm looking for 5,000.
Do you know if they're reissues?
I don't know what a reissue is, but...
Okay. With these particular medals, originally they only made 600 of them. There was a lot of people who didn't get them. So it was like 15, 20 years ago, they issued more for those that didn't get them. So, I mean, it's a big concern of mine.
Right.
I have a friend, though. He knows everything there is to know about medals. If I get him down here, take a look at him, we'll go from there.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. I have no problem with an expert coming in and looking at them because all the research I've done on them shows that they're extremely rare.
Well, here they are. Told you on the phone. Sacco medals.
Yeah, the Sino-American Cooperative Organization. That's an interesting group. Most people have never heard of this group. When people think of Americans in China in World War II, they think of the Flying Tigers, and that's about it. This group, you know, there were 2,800 guys there, Navy and Marines. They were supposed to go in there and just set up weather stations. And then they started training guerrillas, and they were very successful at that. The estimates are that the guerrillas that they trained killed upwards of 23,000 Japanese.
So in 1974, that's when the Chinese government recognized, hey, thanks for all the work you did, and gave out these medals?
The nationalist Chinese government.
So the Taiwan?
Yes, Taiwan under Tai Li, they decided that they would say thank you. And at a reunion, they made up 600 commemorative medals and gave them out at that reunion.
Okay, so I know later they gave out more.
Yes. They continued to give these medals out to others who just didn't make it to that reunion.
So, but is this like the early medals or the later medals?
I need to take a closer look. I need to take a look at the back of it and that. This one looks to me to be a modern piece in absolutely perfect shape. It is not one of the 1974 medals. It's not one of the original 600. I think this is a later production.
Okay. Well, man, thanks. You're amazing.
Not a problem. Glad to help. Interesting to look at. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ben.
So what do you think?
Yeah, there's a collector market for these, but it's like book collectors, they want first editions.
Right.
You have the second or third. And it makes a big difference. So, give me 200 bucks?
The research I've done on them, I've been looking for 10 years and I've only seen one sold. And it was just the one medal and it sold for $1,500.
It was probably one of the original ones. I'm assuming I'll get 400 bucks out of them.
All right. Well, I can't let them go for that, unfortunately.
Okay. I mean, I'll go like 250.
No, I'd still keep them.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, let me know.
All right.
But this is a great story behind them.
Yeah, I learned a lot today, so that's good. I'm disappointed I didn't make the sale. Could have used the money, but they'll go back in my safe with my other collectibles.
What the hell is this? Just put them right there, dude, in the middle. You ever think of calling ahead, man? What the hell are these things?
They're a couple of bomb fins, probably from World War II or something. I've never seen anything like them myself. Don't you think they're the bomb?
Wow.
Came down to the pawn shop today, tried to sell my bomb fins. I'm not sure exactly what they're worth. I kind of will take anything at this point as long as they're out of my backyard.
I mean, they look like the tail end of a bomb or something, but you're definitely missing the bomb part of them. These are just like the fins that would help guide it to where it needed to be.
Yeah.
So where'd you get these, man?
Well, they were kind of sitting in my dad's backyard and ended up getting them at my house somehow, and now I just want to get rid of them. Well, wife wants to get rid of them.
How much does it weigh?
This one probably weighs a couple 100 pounds. That one's probably about 50, 60 pounds. They're, I guess, from World War II.
All right. The Allies dropped millions of tons of bombs in World War II. So I guess it would make sense that there would be some bomb fins laying around in some guy's garage. Did you paint that one?
No. That came as is.
And I could see someone turning this into a table or something. I don't know what the hell you would do with that one.
You can play a little basketball with them and stuff, and...
Yeah, I can also buy a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've never had these come in before, and I have no idea what they're worth. For all I know, they could be a septic tank off something, dude.
No, definitely not.
I got a buddy that might know. I think my dad would probably like to check them out, too. Let me give him a call and see what I can do for him.
All right, that sounds good. I don't know much about what these fins are. I'd really like to hear from an expert because maybe they're worth more than what I'm expecting.
Wow. What are you guys, getting in the bomb-making business?
No.
The guys usually call me down here for anything aviation or military related, and I try to come down here and answer any questions they might have.
So you know what these are?
I do. These are actually conical fins off low-drag general-purpose bombs. So before, in World War II, and even World War I a little bit, we would just drop the bombs out. And so accuracy wasn't there. These conical fins got put in use from Vietnam on. You strap this onto the tail section of a bomb, and it provides a predictable glide path for the bomb. Basically improves accuracy.
All right.
It's pretty low tech. You know, today we're dropping laser-guided, GPS-guided bombs, but we're still dropping these. In 2003 in Iraq, this is what we were using.
Why are we still dropping, you know, these big dumb bombs instead of the smart ones that are going down people's chimneys?
You know, obviously the accuracy's in there, but it's just so much cheaper. The laser-guided bombs, you know, you can't actually drop through clouds. You know, sometimes it's easier. This one looks like it's strapped to about a Mark 84, which is a 2,000-pound bomb, and 11 feet long. We'll fly in, we'll identify a target, and basically roll in and kind of come in on a dive to improve accuracy. And then we'll release the bomb and then come off. Obviously, we want to get bomb-aircraft separation. As far as damage, you're looking about probably a 50-foot crater, about 11 feet of concrete that can go through.
Wow. That's a big bomb.
Yeah, that would pretty much level the golden and silver pawn shop.
All right, that's good to know. You did make sure there's nothing in that thing, right?
Yeah, man, obviously.
Okay. It's not illegal to own these things or anything, is it?
No, you know, most of them are actually serialized and we kind of account for it, but they are out there. It's not surprising, but it's not very common.
Okay, so what are they worth?
Believe it or not, this is probably higher value, the smaller one, just because it's got more uses. I've seen people make tables out of these. The condition's average at best. They are a little beat up. This one's been painted over. You know, it's gonna bring down the value a little bit because it's not original. You know, commercial value, probably all in, $500–600 in that range.
Okay. All right, man. Thanks for coming in.
Great. Good to see you.
Well, I was a little disappointed. I figured they'd be worth a little bit more, but, you know, it is what it is.
So let's talk money.
Well, I was hoping somewhere in the 1,200 range.
Obviously, man, you know I can't pay 1,200 bucks for it. I mean, I'd give you like 400 bucks for it, man.
400 for one or both?
For both.
I do want to get rid of them, but I still think that, I mean, 400 bucks is a little low. I mean, you can't go up to like maybe seven?
No.
No?
The more that I look at them, the more I don't want them. They just take up so much damn room. 400 bucks or nothing.
You can go...
400 bucks or nothing.
They're cool. I mean, there's something that's not gonna, I don't think they'll sit in the shop for a long time.
Would your wife let you put this in the living room?
She did.
Would she?
She did for a little while, and that's why I'm here.
And that's what happens, yeah.
400 then.
All right, have a good one. Right about it.
Let's go do some paperwork, man.
Well, I feel okay about the deal. My wife will probably be happy, and it'll be a nice dinner, take her out, and just have a good time with the money.
Got this painting for you. It's a Jim Daly painting.
That's really, really cool. You know, my dad lost like 40 or 50 pounds and grew a mustache. He'd look a lot like that, probably.
Jump off a bridge, Ricky.
I definitely respect Jim Daly as an artist. The reason I'm selling this painting today is I started my own business, and the economy being the way it is, you know, you kind of got to do what you got to do. Today, I'm hoping to get $13,000. The least I'm willing to take is $7,500.
Where did you get it?
My dad was a mover. Guy decides to tip him out with this painting.
This was a tip? Wow. Jim Daly is a contemporary artist. He's pretty popular. Some of his stuff does go for decent money. He paints Western-themed things, farm scenes, things like that. it's well painted. The hands look really, really good. You can always tell a really good artist is if he can do hands correctly. Another thing I like about him, he's not a pop artist. You can look at like pop artists from like the 90s and you're just going like, it's so 90s.
Yeah.
Things like this, they hold their value a lot better. Is this a print or a painting?
It's a painting. I mean, there's a, on the back, you got his thumbprint and his signature on it.
Master prints filed with, okay? That's what scares me because it's on canvas, but they got some incredible printing technologies right now. They can print what looks like a painting on canvas. Jim Daly is a big name in contemporary art. His items are in museums all over the country. But last thing I need is to shell out money on something that's just a print. You got a dollar figure?
I was thinking 13,000.
Okay. My big concern is that it just might be a print, okay? I have a friend who owns an art gallery, and I think he's actually still here. He was down here looking at some other stuff for me. So let's lay this down real quick. Let me go find him.
Okay.
Printing technology has gotten so advanced, unless you have a trained eye, you can't tell the difference between a painting and a print. Hey, Brett, you want to come down here real quick?
Oh, sure.
We have a Jim Daly print or painting.
Okay.
You know, the closer I look at it, it looks like it's some sort of fancy printing technique. I mean, if you look at the back, you'll see that it says Master Prints filed with.
Now, do you know much about Jim Daly?
Not really.
Okay, Jim's a contemporary artist. I think he's still living and painting. He really concentrated a lot on early images of America pre-World War II. Just lots of real vintage Americana. And again, very technically proficient. Let me take a closer look at it if I can. Can we lay it down? Jim Daly really does a good job evoking a sense of nostalgia. You want the viewer to be able to input their own lives into the scene, and I think that's what he does really well.
I've seen printing on canvas before, and I don't see the brush strokes like I should.
Well, a lot of artists work with a heavy palette. He never really did that. He had a lot of smooth contours, very much graphic in style. I'm gonna flip it over. Well, I'm just looking here. You can see areas where the paint's kind of run off the edge. Now, Mr. Daly got his start with a company called Aaron Brothers, which actually is a pretty prominent frame company. They do a lot of custom framing and some fine art throughout the country, and he was one of their original artists. I believe what this is just some sort of registry, because they did publish a lot of his pieces.
So tell me, is this a print or is this a painting?
This is an original. I think it's a one of a kind. You see quite a few areas on the canvas where the paint has wrapped around, which indicates to me that that's an original. It's a vintage piece. It's a nice example of an established artist's work. Plus, I kind of get the feeling that Rick really likes the work, which is the most important thing.
All right, so what's it worth and what's the market like?
In a retail fine art gallery for a piece this size and quality and condition, you'd probably be looking at about $10,000 to $15,000.
Really? It's good to hear.
It's a beautiful piece.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll get back to work over there. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Brett.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, how much you realistically want for it?
Realistically, I want 13.
How does it feel to want?
Start at 10.
No, I can't. I will give you $6,000.
You can do 8.5?
No, I can do 6. Very small portion of the population can afford to spend $8,000 to $10,000 on a painting, okay? This is going to hang around for anywhere from 1 day to 5 years.
But it's a one-of-a-kind piece.
Yeah, and I have lots of those all over this place.
Would you do 7.5?
I'll go 6,500.
6,500.
6,500. Deal, man. Cool.
Definitely gave me a tough negotiation. I did go under what I actually came here for, but you know what? This will definitely help me out in my new business.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
That looks heavy.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, let's put this down there.
Thank you.
Door knocker?
It's a knocker. I have a door knocker from MGM Studios from 1924. I got the door knocker from my husband. He was an antique dealer in LA. I have an amazing collection of cool items that he has left me.
This right here is like super cool.
It's his property of MGM Studios, Culver City.
Okay.
And it was designed by Lionel Reese in 1924. That was the mascot, the lion.
Okay, yeah, Leo the lion. I think it was in the 1920s or maybe early 30s. There was a plane crash down in Arizona in the desert, and the lion was on the plane.
Yeah.
And the pilot went and got help, and the lion was still alive. And so after that, the lion's name was Lucky Leo.
Lucky Leo.
Yeah.
I have to remember that.
But everyone knows the lion at the beginning of the
In
movies.
the movies.
And even in the silent movies, they had the lion. And so it was a big deal in like the late 20s when they added sound to the lion roaring.
Yeah.
MGM stands for Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer.
Yes.
They've had a really incredible history. They really have. I'd say it was like the #1 iconic one. I'm right up there with Paramount and Columbia and at one time RKO Pictures.
Oh, I forgot about RKO. Right.
If you've ever been on movie studios, you watch on television, you think it's all glitz and glamour at a movie studio. No, it's just regular office buildings and stuff like that. A door knocker like this would be on like a really high executive's door. It wouldn't be on just a normal door. I mean, and they didn't make stuff like this for movies.
No, I think they had them on the gates outside.
Okay.
So I'm glad you like it.
Okay, so the big question, how much you want for it?
Well, I saw it at auction for $2,000 to $3,000 a few years ago. So I thought since you have to resell it, I would offer it at $950.
I'm sure I can resell it. It is a little ostentatious.
So is Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that?
Can I give you 800 bucks? I'm just not sure what I'm going to get for it.
So how about if we meet each other, what's halfway?
860?
How about 875?
Okay.
How about 875?
You know what? You got a deal. This is really, really
Good.
cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you appreciate it.
All right, I'll meet you right over there and we'll do some paperwork.
Thank you.
I'm going to put this on my office door just to piss Corey off. What do we have here?
I have a postcard of the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
And actually, it is signed by all 5 of the original members.
That's really, really cool.
Daddy was a Rolling Stone, huh?
No, it was Papa was a Rolling Stone, and it was a completely different artist.
Why are you here to ruin the party?
When I got the picture, I was excited because I was a fan of the Rolling Stones. I really have no idea what it's worth. I've seen things that they start at $300 up to $3,000. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that maybe it's the $3,000.
Where in the world did you get this?
It was about 30 years ago, and I traded it for an antique dresser. A friend liked the dresser, and I liked the Rolling Stones, so we traded.
Okay, cool.
They look pretty young right there. Were they still in high school or something?
Not high school, but barely out of it. This is the early 60s. This is the way the record companies marketed young bands back then. Remember, it was the early 60s, not the late 60s, so they were supposed to still be like nice boys. I mean, it's a really old promotional photo. Do you know how she got it signed or anything like that?
I don't. I think she got him signed at a concert, but I'm not 100%.
Okay, because I can tell you right now, it's a rare thing to have something signed by the original early Rolling Stones. It really is. So the original members were Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, and Brian Jones. But Brian Jones drowned when he was just 27. Mick and Keith have been the heart and soul of the Stones for over 50 years. But Brian Jones is the guy who actually started the band. And since he died so young, memorabilia with a signature on it is really rare and really valuable. Do you have an idea what you wanted?
Oh, I don't know.
50 bucks, 100 bucks?
No, I'm talking thousands here. Maybe 3,000.
There's some issues going on with this, though.
Is
you
there?
saw that.
Like
there's massive tape. There's tape over signatures.
when I got it framed, I wanted the signatures preserved. And when I took it to the professional, this is what he did. And I didn't realize it till I took it apart about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they're still there, but it really affects the value. Because when people want these, they want them You know, I mean, the cleaner, the better, okay?
But there's still the 5 signatures on there.
All right. Do you mind if I get someone to look at it?
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right. I have a friend who's in town right now who really knows what he's doing when it comes to stuff like this.
Okay.
I am going to give him a call. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. I'm excited that we're finally going to find out if this is real or not. It's been a mystery for 30 years.
How's it going?
What's up, chum? What's happening? Check this out. Know how much you like rock music?
I love rock music. Yeah, the Rolling Stones, the original members. That's really a great photo of these guys. Very early, too. And we know it's still the original guys because Brian Jones died in 1969, drowning accident. So we could date it 62 to 69, roughly.
Too far away.
The Rolling Stones are kind of like top of the mountain. You've got the Beatles, and no one can touch the Beatles. But the Rolling Stones are right there in terms of popularity. Rolling Stones memorabilia goes through the roof. Anytime it's genuine, it's instant gold. Rick, tell me about your concerns.
Well, first off, are they real? And if they are real, how bad is that tape all over them?
Of course. The tape does affect the value, though, because you're altering the piece.
Okay.
I mean, if the signatures are real, and if they check out okay, there's not too many surviving pieces from that period of the Rolling Stones. It's a pretty rare piece.
Okay, so do your magic.
You know, Rick, this isn't really magic, it's science.
Whatever, just do it.
All right, Rick, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a pro scope on this. It lets me kind of go in here and figure out if these signatures are live, first and foremost. And I'm starting to take a look at here, and I see some ink formations. And right in this area, I see some overlapping, which indicates to me, yes, it was actually penned by someone. But who was it penned by? We have to get to that next.
Okay.
Next thing I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna go into my database. The first thing I wanna do is I wanna pull up known examples of these guys, how they signed back in the day. So 1962 to 1969, we have to start looking at their signature styles from that period. You know, some of the things I'm starting to observe already, when I look at the piece here, I'm starting to see some stuttering, some pausing.
I need to get closer.
Compared to what I know is genuine and real, I'm starting to see some big-time differences. Especially with Brian Jones, it looks like someone went into the Brian signature and stopped after his A, which isn't a good sign. If I had to take a look at Keith Richards, the Keith Richards that's featured on this piece here is so different in letter, shape, formation. The sizing is different. I'm noticing someone's trying to mimic kind of what Keith did.
I am out of range. I need to.
But ultimately, in the end, I think that's what you have on this entire piece here, is where someone is trying to kind of mimic the Rolling Stones.
Okay. All right.
Oh, well.
Sorry. Thanks, man.
Sure. Good to see you. Back in the 60s especially, a lot of times at concerts, the manager would sign photos and hand them out, which could have been this case as well. I mean, it's the only way that they could kind of fill that demand because everybody wanted a piece of the Rolling Stones at that time.
Should have kept the dresser.
Well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I wasn't sure, all these years.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.
Too far.
Well, it's a little misleading when somebody signs somebody else's signature, but it's still a cool picture, and it has been with me for 30 years, so I'll keep it.
What is that?
This is a Blackstone vanishing bird cage.
By Harry Blackstone?
Yes.
This is really, really cool. I mean, people today don't know Harry Blackstone like they used to, but he was literally in a league with Harry Houdini. And where did you get it?
I was married to Harry Blackstone Jr., and I was the one who was shot from a cannon, cut in half with a buzzsaw, turned into the tiger. That's what I did. The Blackstone Vanishing Bird Cage was made famous by Harry Blackstone Sr. and then my late husband, Harry Blackstone Jr. It's a famous piece. So I'm going to ask $3,000 for it.
Harry Blackstone Jr., he was like the very first big production magician on the Strip, right?
Yes. It was also on Broadway, because we had like the longest running show on Broadway and things like that. And the birdcage was featured in every show. His father, Harry Blackstone Sr., started performing it in about 1913. So this piece is somewhere close to 100 years old.
So that is really neat. I know the father, he was in vaudeville. You know, a lot of people don't understand it today, but like in the 1920s, the movies didn't even have sound. I mean, so that's why vaudeville was so big. And if it was someone like Blackstone, it was a big event on Friday night. So how is this like a trick?
Well, he would come out holding it and invite anywhere from a half a dozen to 50 kids up on stage who would all put their hands on it. And while everyone was holding it, it would vanish.
Okay. So can you make it work?
No.
It's really cool that you had father and son magicians that were just as famous as each other. So if we have one of their original tricks from someone who was part of their stage show, that's cool. Just trying to look and see how it works.
I need to target something.
I mean, it's put together weird, I can tell you that. So there's something going on here. You can tell by the wire and everything, it's really old. So one thing is, did that have feathers on it at one time?
No, it never had feathers.
Okay.
And it was made by his great uncle, Harry Blackson Sr.'s brother, Pete.
Okay. I mean, it's really, really cool. And I'm sort of fascinated. I really want this one for the shop. And I want to know how it works. You're looking to sell it.
Yes.
And the whole thing is, how much do you want for it?
Well, I'm going to say $3,000.
Okay, and I don't know if it's worth $500 or $10,000. I do have a friend who is really big into collecting magic stuff.
Oh, who is it?
It's Murray the Magician. He's a good friend of mine. And
I have known Murray since his hair was normal.
all right, I'm going to go give him a call. I'm going to see if he can come on down. I know he'll fall in love with this. But he'll help me figure out what it's worth, okay?
Fair enough.
Hang out a few minutes, and I'll be right back.
Murray is a great choice because so many of the younger magicians in this day and age don't know the history of magic, but Murray does. So I think he's a great one to give a very honest appraisal.
Good seeing you. You well?
I'm fine. And yourself?
No complaints. And I see something that looks absolutely amazing in front of you. Now this, believe it or not, is one of the holy grails of magic. And this is from Harry Blackstone Sr.
Mm-hmm.
And Junior used it as well,
yes.
I'm sure. And as you know, in magic, the Blackstone is a huge magic name, not only by one man, by two, Senior and Junior. They used to open their shows with this small trick. I mean, nowadays we open tricks with massive things. We produce cars and trains and all that to open a big show. This is what they would open a massive theater with. He'd walk out, stand on stage, hold this in his hand, and literally in 1 second flat, the whole cage would actually vanish from his hands. And to this day, in the world of magic, it's probably one of the greatest magic tricks. The Blackstones are really influential in magic because they were the last of the tuxedo tails, bow tie magicians. They were a huge magic family, not only one magician, but two. So Rick, on this item, what are your concerns with?
Okay, so how does it work?
Rick, it's magic. He would hold it in his hands and it would disappear. And the great thing is, if you do end up getting this, you will actually learn the secret. That's the bonus. But the greatest thing with this is, even when it was filmed on TV, they would break it down frame to frame, and you could not catch the vanish. It happened in one frame. That's how great this vanish of the trick was.
Okay. You want to show me how it works?
Rick, it's so fragile. This is over 100 years old.
So what's it worth?
This cage, you know, like I said, it's one of the classic magic props. And you're getting it right from the estate. So the price for this one, in this economy, in this day and age, is between $3,500 and $4,500.
Okay.
Sir, thank you so much.
Thanks,
good luck with this, and good luck with your magic career. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the strip. If Rick makes a deal on this and actually does own this item, I think Rick will be able to move it pretty quickly. It's a cool piece of magic.
So I'll give you $2,500.
How about $2,750?
It's a specialized thing. It takes a long time to sell it. Will you take $2,600 for it?
I'll take, yes, 2,600.
Okay, it's a deal.
Okay,
thanks. This is really cool. I just can't make sure some of my employees don't screw up something fragile. This is such a cool historical item. I'm glad we got it for the shop. You never know, maybe I'll join Murray's Magic Show. Our hair doesn't exactly match, though. You again.
Me again.
What's up, man?
Not much. I have John Wayne's hat from the man who shot Liberty Valance.
This is John Wayne's hat.
It's John Wayne's hat.
From Liberty Valance.
One of the most iconic movies, in my opinion.
I mean, it had some stars in it, too. I mean, this was full, big-time stars. It was James Stewart, John Wayne, Lee Van Cleef, Lee Marvin. Those four together would kick the ass of anybody in Hollywood right now.
I bought it from a big collector. He didn't want to sell the hat, but I brought out a briefcase full of money. I said, what's your crazy number on this? I had to have the hat. Hollywood just does not make movies like that anymore. Well, maybe Quentin Tarantino. Am I allowed to say that?
All right, it's pretty damn interesting. It was a cool movie. I mean, you're talking 1962. Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne, at this point, they're icons. They're in the top 5, period.
They're the Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio of their day. You know,
Yeah. The greatest thing about this movie is the lines that came out of it.
Exactly. When you think of John Wayne, what phrase do you think of him saying?
It'd be Pilgrim, which is from Liberty Valance.
Exactly. And he was wearing this hat in the scene where he first used that word.
That is really, really cool. John Wayne has so much tough guy swagger that his movie lines are legendary. And think about it, it's been up to 70 years since some of his best films came out, and people still love him. So where exactly did you get it?
This came from a guy named Nick Polidorus, who worked at Paramount Studios, and he was a friend of John Wayne's, and after the production of the film, he gave him the hat. So I have a notarized letter here and a statement from him.
So did you buy it off this guy?
No, I bought it off another collector who bought it off this guy.
Okay.
I have some pictures here of him wearing it, and you can see the band and the cord and the creases. But the most important thing is there's a scene where he shoots the paint cans, and Jimmy Stewart gets paint all over him, and he punches John Wayne. And I think this is some of the paint splatter here.
Okay.
One other thing, it has a little tag in here saying John Wayne #2, and I believe he wore 3 different hats in the movie.
All right. So how much do you want for it?
The best deals anywhere.
$95,000.
$95,000.
I mean, it all looks fairly legit, man.
I mean, it looks good. The thing that's got me concerned, the movie was in black and white. It's hard to tell if the colors match.
Color.
Before I put that kind of money out, I want to be 100%. I want to be 200% sure. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I have someone look at this? I mean, there's no one who knows more about John Wayne than this guy.
Sure.
I'm going to give him a call, get him down here. He'll look at it. He'll know right away.
Okay. This hat is the one John Wayne wore in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I have photographic evidence, and to me, photos just don't lie. It's John Wayne's son.
That's John Wayne's son, yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy Ethan should be able to tell us if this is his dad's hat.
Wow. That is cool.
Is this your dad's hat?
Well, it looks like my dad's hat. Liberty Valance is a great movie. My dad was at the top of his game in that movie. I mean, he looked good physically. He owned that John Wayne thing that he had going on.
Why can't you be somebody cool like John Wayne? Hi, I'm Corey. My dad's just a pawnbroker.
I'll tell you something about my dad. He always had fun. If my dad was with his friends and they were joking around, you know, he may throw out a line from a film like, whoa there, Pilgrim, or, you know. It looks really good. It's got this ring around. It's got a really good matching hat band, and the color's good, and the shape is good.
One of the things that I liked was that this was a hat that would have had a dent in it, and they made these creases, and in all the photos you see, the creases, the original crease, matches up. It still stays there. You can't get rid of that original hat maker's crease, and every photo, it's there. And of course, there's the scene where he shoots the paint can. I believe that's probably a paint stain.
I remember seeing like a speck or two on the back, but I certainly don't remember something that big.
But there could have been other takes as well, possibly.
Yeah, and there's multiple hats that it doesn't look the right size to me. It looks a little small. If he was wearing this hat, he would have had to really get it on there, and you see it's way down to his brow in that photograph. Mind if I put it on?
Okay.
It should, go down to my ears.
Hey, Dudley Do-Right, how's it going?
That's a problem. I think he wore a 7 3/8. I'm about a 7 1/4. Hats typically don't shrink, but that's awfully small. So that and the size of the brim is a bit questionable to me, and also that it looks so perfect.
So there's a maybe.
It's a maybe. So I can't definitively say yes or no to either one of you. I'm skeptical that I've just never heard of hats shrinking.
They shrink.
Okay.
Some of the ones in my archive certainly have.
Thanks, Ethan.
Did my best.
Just because the hat is a little bit smaller than what John Wayne's actual size was does not mean it didn't shrink. That should not kill the authenticity of the hat.
There's got to be a way to 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, prove it was his or it wasn't.
Sure.
But at 95 grand, we just can't pay it.
Okay.
I can't give you any type of big money. Figure out a way to prove 100% that it's his. Come back, I'd love to buy it off you.
Oh, and you know I will.
Okay. All right, man.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. I'm gonna have some photo analysis done on the hat and match it up forensically beyond a shadow of a doubt. Then I'm gonna come back and show the guys and prove them wrong.
So I had a customer send in what he claims is the original 1986 cover art for the Beastie Boys' License to Ill album. Now, he wants $50,000 for it. I just talked to my rock and roll guy, Warwick. He's saying it's probably worth $5,000, and he wants my art guy, Chad, to check it out. So if Chad has the same value as Warwick, I'm really gonna have to fight for my right to negotiate if I think I even got a chance of getting this.
Ah, Beastie Boys, 1986. I remember that. I had to fight for my right to party when I was 16, too.
Well, have a seat. Have a seat. Take a look at it.
Thanks, man. This is really, really cool. This was in the 100th Greatest Album Covers. So there's been a lot written about it already. Rick Rubin came up with this concept when he was taking the Beastie Boys, who were a punk band, and he added a little bit of rap to them. He had just read a Led Zeppelin book, and he wanted the Beastie Boys to have a jet of their own, but he wanted to do a little kind of a sarcastic bent to it. So he got the artist, who is a graphic artist named World B1, or David Gamble, and brought him the concept, gave it to him. This is the product.
So the owner of this says it's an original charcoal sketch.
The one thing that I would say about this isn't the final product. Obviously, it's not even in color. When he first did this, we know that he used a collage of a lot of different planes, and then he put it together and then went over it with water crayon. It's not the camera-ready piece. It's a progressive sketch leading there. So that's why you have the Mylar, and they have some of the little notes. This was supposed to directly rip off the Harley Davidson. That was the intention of it at the time.
Okay.
One of the fun things about this, too, is it was made to where if you folded the album art, it looked like a little blunt. Burned blunt.
Okay, sort of like the back of Mad Magazine where you'd fold it.
Exactly like the back.
Okay, all right.
So how many drafts would it take to complete a final cover?
It's hard to say. Could have been a lot because he was experimenting with different aspects of it till he got to the finished product.
So what's it worth?
The most important version, the one that's really the money shot in it, is going to be the final camera-ready product. We know in 2013, another very reputable appraiser put the camera-ready version at $15,000. This piece is really great, but it's not the color piece. I'd say 5,000 to 7,000. Yeah.
All right, thanks for looking at it, man.
Hey, thanks for showing it to me. That's super cool.
I'll walk Chad out.
Yep.
I gotta pass that vending machine. You want something, Rick?
No, I just want it to be 1986 again. Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Yeah, Rick, good. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. So I had my buddy Warwick. He's the #1 guy on rock and roll memorabilia in the world. He's looked at it. Chad, my art guy, has looked at it. And here's what I was told, okay? This right here is, it's a work in progress. This is a study. We don't know how many there was. We don't know if there was 5 drawings that got to the original drawing in the color, or there was 20 or there 30, but it was one of those. The big problem is it's not the artwork that was photograph ready and made the album. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I totally get it.
Okay. And the artist basically is only really well known for this painting. And basically they both told me it'd probably retail for like $5,000.
Okay.
Okay, and I think it's pretty amazing. It'd probably sell quick. I have some customers I know would be interested in it, so I'd give you a 4.
I tell you what, Rick, we're going to be way too far apart on that, unfortunately. I like it a little more than that, a lot more than that. The price that you offer me, I get it. I know you did your research, but for me, it's just not worth it to let it go for that.
Okay, I can understand, especially if you're asking 50, but I literally researched it to death. I had like the best guys I know of to look at it, and that was their opinion. All right, so I'm gonna box it up and send it back to you. I mean, what are you gonna do with it?
You know, I think I'll hold on to it for a little while longer.
All right, man. Thanks for letting me take a look at it. You'll get it in a few days, okay?
Thank you so much, Rick.
All right, have a good one, man. Bye-bye. I'm down at Murray's Theater. This is where he does his magic show. He called me down because one of the people he works with has something he wants to sell me. So I'm down here to see whatever this item is.
We know we're in the right spot. It says Murray right there.
And Chum wants to learn magic. Does it make you feel like a star?
Makes me feel like a groupie. We're going backstage.
Murray!
Hey, buddy.
Hey, there you are.
Good seeing you. Welcome backstage. How you doing, chum?
What's up?
This is Eric, my showroom manager.
Hey, how are you?
You run
How's
the
it going,
showroom? Eric has a super cool item he thought you guys might like.
Where's it at?
I got it right here. There we go.
What is this thing?
This is actually a magician automaton doing a cups and balls routine. Cups and balls is actually one of the oldest magic tricks in the world.
So what was the point of this thing?
An automaton is basically the first robot of our time.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day a robot can take over Chum's job.
A robot can never do my job, Rick. Robots are efficient.
There's logic there somewhere.
I have this really cool automaton that's pretty old, I think, and it looks magical. And I figured I'd bring it down to Murray since he knows everything about magic, and I know he's friends with the guys at the pawn shop. It's just been collecting dust, and I thought it might be worth some money.
I'm gonna let you guys discuss this. I gotta grab a couple things before we open the doors.
All right.
Thanks, Murray.
Don't be pulling no magic without me.
I'll try not to.
It's really, really cool.
Where'd you get this thing?
My grandfather brought it back from Europe after World War II, and it sat in an attic in my grandmother's house forever and ever.
So how does this thing work?
It's clockwork. It's got a wind-up mechanism. There's rods and gears in there, and it's also got a little music box in there. In Europe, it was really popular all the way back to the 1600s and 1700s to have watches with automations on them where little figures would do stuff on the face of the clock. This is the same thing. So does it work?
I've actually never turned it on because I was afraid to break it.
Can we try it out?
Yeah.
It's pretty simple how they worked. They wind it up like a music box.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go to bed, or I'm gonna head off Warcraft and take a break. I know I could probably do some more. I have Eternity, but I don't like to play on those little characters, so take care. Have a good night.